Wick. That's my new theme music. Clap for yourself, no?
No.
All right. Let's jump into it.
The passion behind building and telling a story. I felt so moved by it, and I'm just like, oh my God. I started weeping. I can listen to a sad Toni Braxton song and be smiling and cheesing and still like belting out the saddest words.
Not weird at all. It really takes a mature person look at things from a zoomed out lens and be like, you know what? I did not treat that person right. But in the heat of the moment, in the middle of the night,
And be surprised. I want God to surprise me.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's all necessary
With Tifani. Wick. That's my new theme music. Welcome to another episode of It's All Necessary with Tifani Sage. Oh my God. I'm so glad we're recording now because the setup was a little long. Okay. So you know the spiel, and if you don't, I'm here to let you know what this space represents. So It's All Necessary is a space where we are reminded every life experience and situation, it's only to help us grow and help us to propel, if that makes sense, to the next level in our lives. Please leave a comment, share this, like it, show me love. I want to hear from you. And excuse my manners, my name is Tifani Sage, and I'm the host. Let's get started. Dun, dun, dun. And then the lights dim. Bink. Okay, so today my special guest is Ovié.
Oh, good job.
I love it. I love how my cards are like all mixed up, but I'm like, it's okay.
How long?
My special guest. Sorry?
I said, how long did it take you to practice that though? My name.
Girl, I've known you for like 2 years. So. I say your last name like almost every day. Don't ask me how to spell it though. All right. So my special guest, Ovié, is an associate director in analytics. Ooh, you smart. And an actress and a creator. And we're about to dive into her mind and in her world. Everybody give her a round of applause. Clap for yourself, no?
No.
All right. Let's jump into it. Childhood. We're going to start with where are you from and what is your fondest childhood memory?
I'm from Houston, Texas, and I would say, oh God, I'll pick a memory that is top of mind because I was talking about this recently. I would say going hunting with my family because as much as I say I am not that Texan, it very much aligns with being from Texas and just having that experience and knowing how to shoot something, even though if you ask me to do it now, I can shoot targets, but I can't shoot an animal. So
did it make you feel bad and bougie?
No, you know what? I really thought it was normal and didn't associate it with anything. Mm-hmm. Just thought it was like,
it was just your experience.
Brushing your teeth. Like,
yeah.
It just wasn't, it was fine.
And did you wear camouflage?
No, I wore blue jeans.
I love that. What shirt? A collared, long white sleeve?
The only shirt I remember is the pink shirt I have in a photo with me and my cousin. And he has the gun pointed at, I think it was a raccoon. And yeah.
Wait, so question. With the hunting,
right?
You guys ever, your cousin, your brother, your uncle, you guys ever caught wild, what's it called, roadkill?
Roadkill? No.
Not roadkill, but game that you have killed.
Yes. So.
And you guys dragged it.
So
home,
my uncle at the time,
okay.
he.
How does that change? Okay.
By marriage. But yeah, he killed deer. So we would eat that deer sausage and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Wait. So did he drag this home? Like tied up on the truck and
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then he took
Listen, I'm ever since I was like, I have pigtails, it's like every other bout.
Does it feel good?
Yeah. And I guess we all want to know, how does deer taste?
You know what? I don't remember, but I think it probably tastes like goat. if anything. Like if you can liken it to something, I feel like it's
gamey.
goat. Yeah, or lamb.
That was my little Jim Carrey. Shout out to Jim Carrey.
Whoa, pop, pop, pop. All right, so my name is Tifani Sage. I'm a confidence and clarity life coach. If you're feeling unfulfilled in your life or you don't know what's next for you, I'm your girl. I can take you to new levels of clarity. Click the link in my bio for a complimentary, yeah, I said it, complimentary call with me so we can get your life on track. Click the link so we can connect.
Who were your childhood role models?
So I was so in love with music, and I remember being so obsessed with Whitney Houston. Like I sung every single song in my bedroom, and my mother would tell me to turn it down.
Mm-hmm. And you said, "No, I'm jamming out."
No, well, you know what? Don't buy the CDs if you don't want me to play them. So
well, I didn't think you were trying to burn a hole through the thing.
Listen,
was it cassette, CD?
No,
What'd you say?
So it was CDs.
Okay.
Because I got a karaoke machine for one of my birthdays. My dad bought it. And so I would have my microphone and I'm like singing and recording and, just having my concerts. But yeah, Whitney Houston for a long time.
Wait, and were your teddy bears and Barbie dolls your fans?
I set them up. They were on it. They were sitting at my concert. I had them aligned. And one of the teddy bears I still have in my closet.
I'm so sorry, but that I
child.
really want to go like this with your hair.
Oh my God. Okay.
Bam. That doesn't feel a little better?
No. Does it feel better to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Because I want to see you. I want to look into your face.
I can see you.
All right. Last question in childhood. What did you do as a child that you still do today as an adult?
So there was something that I was talking to my mother about recently that I used to sit and watch movies like over and over and learn the scripts of my favorite movies. And then there was this one time where we were going to a college that she worked at, and I would use the printer and print out the scripts so that I could learn them verbatim.
And this is what you still do now?
I still learn films and watch them over and over, and TV shows. Like I know them line by line.
Okay.
Like Big Bang Theory, Friends, there's Living Single. I know a lot of the scenes by heart. I know I can say it with the characters.
Wow. And what enjoyment does that give you?
Or
fulfillment?
It just makes me feel happy, and I feel like I am in another world, and I realize that I have always practiced talking to myself a lot. So I think that
not weird at all.
I'm an only child. I think that's absolutely normal. So I mean, I only had me. So
oh wow, that sounds like a good song. I only had me. Let's mosey over into 100% necessary. This is an absolute need in every question. Fly, we can so go live. I'm feeling like, y'all gonna get it today. So maybe after this segment, it'll just be for the room. So starting off with, what are 2 necessary life skills you would tell your younger self in order to thrive in today's world?
Oh God, I think perseverance and repetition.
Please.
With
elaborate.
perseverance, you're going to have so many setbacks. I think every time I've wanted to accomplish something or tried to accomplish something, there's always been a setback right before I accomplish it. So it's like, just prepare and just know it's not the end. It's usually the beginning, but something has to die before you like just transform. And then repetition, because it takes that repetition to remember and to do. And there's power in that, and you become more confident. So I just feel like that's important.
Well, Memphis, my girl, that was good.
Yes.
That was good. 2 necessary books that inspired you or gave you guidance in any phase of your life.
You know what? Right. I used to say A Year of Yes, but I got over that stage because I already say yes to things that scare me. So what I know for sure, Oprah. I'm in love with that. I play it way too much.
Auntie Oprah Winfrey. You mean a lot to me. I'm sorry, just hearing that name. And Grandma Maya Angelou, those two.
Yes, I know.
Them two there?
I know.
Yeah.
What's funny is that I don't just read it, I also listen to it. So when I say I play it. When I'm done reading it, I play it so I can hear it. And I just
Why?
like to. I like that last song. I mean, last song. I'm thinking of music. That last line. I hope you dance at the end of the book. And it's because, you know, just reaching fulfillment and reaching that ultimate aha. And I'm just like, yes, I hope I dance. And I know that sounds ridiculous a little bit, but it's just, it's a feel good moment. Just like, yes, I want to reach that moment in my life.
I love that. And you will.
And
you are.
Thank you. And then the other book is The Alchemist. I find myself still going back to it. And I thought, you know, oh, maybe I'm done with it. But then there's something that happens. I'm like, oh, I need to read it again. So those are the two books.
What part in The Alchemist resonates with you?
I think the moments when he's going through the valley or the desert, and it's like he's questioning the path, and I feel like that's life. When you're going through the rough times, you're like, okay, is this really what I'm meant to do? Is this really what I need to be doing? Or is this just like, am I misguided because I'm passionate about it, but maybe this isn't for me?
Yeah. Oh, let's take a pivot there. 1 second.
Yes.
That is so true. And I hope I can remember what you said a while ago. But being passionate about something, you're on the journey of what you're passionate about.
Right.
And then something comes along when it's like, oops, pull up, like stop. Maybe we need to stop going down this journey or down this path.
Right.
What has that been for you?
I feel like that's been my whole life.
Raw. Wait. How?
No, but
Hold
okay.
on. Dive into that.
I'll just talk about college. My first degree was psychology.
How many degrees do you have?
I have 3, but my first degree that I wanted to go after was psychology. I had enrolled in college, got accepted. The day school started, I said, I don't want to do this.
You mean the first day of school started?
Yes.
Wow.
I said I want to study fashion.
Okay. And what will happen in the middle of the night?
Then I enrolled in art school.
Okay.
And studied fashion.
Wait, what made you between you
Right.
getting accepted and then to you?
Precisely.
What happened like the night before?
So I realized that I have a tendency to pour into people. And I do that regularly. And I didn't want my life to be consumed of other people to a point that I never have enough for myself. So I decided I don't need to invest in a psychology.
Wow.
Like, I don't need this because
And it's good that you recognize it before you're like when you're in. Or,
Yeah.
You know?
I just wanted to do something. I was like, that makes me happy. And instead of, just being a doctor, because that was like slated. You have to be some kind of doctor. And I'm like,
wait,
well,
and because I know you,
like
you
the
said your
Nigerian
parents,
thing,
that
that's
piece. Hold on. I feel like going back, you are from Houston, Texas, but what's your heritage?
I am half Nigerian and half Creole.
Bam.
So yeah, but my mom is even though she's not the Nigerian parent, she is very much education oriented, but liberal, but education oriented. Her mom was a nurse.
And you're saying with the stereotype of
as
Nigerians?
As far as like, you need to go to school. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you want to go have fun, you're going to school. So either way, I was going to have somebody's degree.
Nice. And then so fast forward now, you said you wanted to pivot from psychology
to fashion. I know, what a pivot. So I always liked watching Project Runway, and I was like, oh my God. And I always drew. That's another thing I still do sometimes. I don't do it as much, but I was always drawing, and I drew a lot of clothing. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I should be a fashion designer. But I went into fashion retail management, and that's more about focusing on
I could see you owning that. I mean, owning as like a store, like you run the operations of it.
It's more focused on the buying, and you do some fashion drawing, but they kind of pitched it like it was something else, and then once I realized it wasn't what I wanted it to be,
What did you want it to be?
I wanted it to be fashion design, more oriented. And we did some things that were design oriented. And then when we stopped, I was like, all right, it's time for another degree.
Wow. Wait, so which one did you get your degree in?
I ended up with interactive media and web design. So
which is not fashion and it's not psychology.
No. So I pivoted from fashion to interactive media and web design when I was like, oh, I'm not being challenged and this is not fashion design. And I pivoted to that because I could do photography, I could do web design, I could do videography with that. It was multi faceted. So I really liked that. And I was like, okay, well, I can do whatever I want with this. And it didn't feel like I was having to make myself small in an area and like just make one decision.
Yeah.
So that's what I walked away with.
In all of these pivots.
Yes.
Did you more feel confidence with the new pivot or did you feel more doubt? Because it's like, oh, I pivoted before and I'm about to pivot again. Like, was it like a decrease of, I don't know what I'm doing with my life? Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. How did that look?
No, I actually just felt like I was making a decision that felt good. I didn't really think about it that way. I kind of just was like, listen, as long as I'm not losing time, like I did not want to be in college more than 4 years.
Yeah.
I was like, as long as I'm not losing time, we're good. I was like, I just need this 4-year degree to be 4 years. That's it. So,
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. 2 necessary mental health practices that have helped you in the past or present.
Oh, so realistically, I was thinking about this not that long ago when I was talking to my friend Destiny. And I was like, you know what? I need to get better at just focusing on my mental health as far as like real practices. I work out, but I do feel like that's not really focusing on my mental health.
It's not getting up in your cranium.
Right. So
making your body look good. But.
Yeah, but it's just not doing what it needs to do. So I'm thinking that I will probably channel more of that energy into listening to music more. I do listen to music, but I have my moments where I take breaks in discovery, and I enjoy discovering new artists and just sitting up like for hours just discovering, and that's like very freeing for me. So that's something I want to do more of. And then I do want to take more walks, more scenic routes and walks, but I have to figure out what time that's going to work because I like to get my workout as well, and that's not always aligned.
Got it.
For a scenic walk.
How does listening to music help your mental health as far as you purging out what you're feeling?
The walks or the music?
The music.
I'm sorry. I was like, wait. With the music, I feel like it just helps me be out of body and just focus on it. Kind of like unearths feelings a little bit. Like depending on the melody of the song, it unearths feelings. It's not the same thing as like we're talking themselves.
Instrumental music?
No, they can have lyrics and they still like make me feel a certain way. Like I can listen to a sad Toni Braxton song and be smiling and cheesing and still like belting out the saddest words.
Not weird at all.
It's probably backwards, but it works for me.
That part, I'm mad at that. So we said what, walks and music?
Yes.
Okay. All right. 2 pieces of advice that has helped shape you in some way.
2 pieces of advice. I would say definitely be okay to change. Like be okay with a type of change and just
be okay
pivoting.
With change. Okay.
Yes, and just being able to pivot and not feeling like, oh, my life is going to fall apart. And another one, I think, I'm trying to think, because you know what? I realize I don't really take people's advice.
Or advice that you gave yourself.
I think the mindset of just making sure that I am stay into being high in integrity. like making sure that I stand by my integrity. If I say I'm going to do something, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that especially in today's world, a lot of people make promises that they're not really living up to. So maybe don't make a promise unless you can keep it. Like,
and when someone breaks a promise to you,
well, that's different. I feel.
I'm sorry. I feel like I just like paused for a second. But when someone breaks a promise to you, are you the type to go AWOL? Like, but you said blah, 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 blah.
I think I hold people's words very high. So I do think but I say that. The thing about it is that I'm very vocal
That
about
seems a little scary, though. It
my
seems like, you
feelings.
ever saw that movie, Then Love Between Love and Hate or something like that? Where it's just like,
Why are
don't make me fall in love with you. And
No.
then fast forward, I'm in love with you. And then it's like, ding, 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 ding.
No, but it's just like, don't say things you don't mean. I think that people
part.
need to be
With
accountable and held accountable for what they're saying.
Speaking about change,
I know.
if they say, like, I'm just saying, said a person says something, and then they change their mind. And they come back to you and say, hey, I'm actually having second thoughts or feeling different feelings.
Right.
Are you holding them back? Are you holding them to what they originally said? Or is there grace given to said friend? Like, you know what? No problem. I get it.
I think it's different when it's growth. But I do think, like, if you say, I'm not saying overall, if you say something that I need you to stand by it. Like, it's not everything. But let's say you want to do something with me, or we made plans to go somewhere. Like, certain things, I feel like you have to be held accountable for something. It can't just be everything
Wishy-washy.
I
Don't
have
be
to give
wishy-washy.
grace for everything. Like, that's not realistic for me.
Got it. All right. Moving on over to working lifestyle, and we're still gonna stay on live.
Oh, we're saying, oh.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back on the
Yeah.
side. I'm loving it. I'm feeling very like, oh, I want to give. All right. So, what ignited the interest for you to get into analytics?
So honestly, I kind of fell into it.
Ooh.
I was tired. So when I left when I graduated from college, I was a graphic designer. And
well, that makes sense because you said the last thing was the media.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was a graphic designer, and then I became a replication artist. So
Is that what the title was called?
no. So I would have.
Wait, or are you shading that thing? Okay.
Yes. So I would have managers come up to me and be like, hey, I saw this. Can you make this exact thing? And I could, but it was like, this is not what I signed up to do. I didn't become a graphic designer to create someone else's work.
You know what I'm seeing? A fine line of little dots. When you said I didn't sign up for this, it's like a lot of things that you're interested in. It's not really what it is.
Right.
Like with the fashion. So I wonder, it's a little theme.
What?
I don't know. Maybe like new things. I don't know. Down to the food you order. Oh, I would love to get this. And then the food that comes out doesn't look like that. And it's just like, I need to be super thorough with all of them. I want this. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but I guess like with new ventures, you're getting into new friends that you make. Like
the specification, I think really matters. I think that, but I feel like that's part of youth and discovering yourself that you don't know until you try it. And then actually having friends at that time that were also graphic designers and knowing that their experiences were different from mine, I was like, oh, okay, I'm working for the wrong companies.
Ooh.
Because they weren't having to do that. They were making new art. They were actually, being inspired. And I was like, that's great. I am being told to create something that they saw already. So
that's not great.
no. So I was like, you know what? Since I'm attracting this, I need to go and see what else I can do. I did photography for a while, but I stopped because I just didn't like the clientele. And I said I would pick back up when I got a different clientele, but I just didn't. I still want to, but
But aren't you in control of your clientele?
I have some hesitance. Yes, but I felt like at the time Houston was still very much it wasn't really art friendly in that way. So it was more so people looking for a very specific thing rather than like, yeah, I need headshots or I need this. And like, it's not like artsy. It was more like, oh, can you take pictures of my wedding? Or, oh, can you take pictures of my party? And I'm like, I don't really, thank you. I don't mind making this money, but I don't really want to do this. So,
got it.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to ask you.
So
how'd you fall into analytics?
Yes. So getting there. So I went back. I did some bouncing around. I started teaching for a little while, and I decided there's a long anyway. After the teaching, I went back into the corporate world, and I decided I wanted to step away from graphics. And this company was allowing me to get into coding again. And I did coding in college and in high school. So
girl, you are the wheel of life of everything one can do.
It's giving Gemini. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. Hey, it's a gift for some, you know.
And a curse for others.
Hey, bless life. Listen, so I was coding and I was like, you know what? I don't mind coding. And then I was offered this position to step into a different kind of coding. And I was like, oh.
Wait, you were offered, so you never applied for this thing?
I sent my resume out there, but it's offered because I forgot about it.
Oh, I like that.
So it was an offer because I was like, oh, hi. And so I agreed to that, and I stepped into strategic marketing. And then that was when the analytics came into play, and I was doing more stuff in Excel, and I was like, oh God, all right, so I can actually make money with this. Like, this is actually a good track, because I was like, I was feeling stifled in certain areas. Like, my money wasn't growing.
Teaching from the teaching time?
Well, not even from that. Just like graphics and etc. Like, I was seeing stifling as far as like salary basis, and I wasn't seeing the growth there. In the midst of this, I was also going back to school and got my grad degree, like the first one. So
I'm going to sound so stupid, but grad degree is your master's?
Graduate, yes.
Okay.
So master's in communication, I got when I was working for Hearst. And then
shout out Hearst.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
that was hilarious. Oh God.
Well, actually, wait.
No, what the girl say? I'm screaming.
No. I was like, wait, is that the right timeline? But I was like, no.
It doesn't matter, girl. You done everything in the world. So
because I was like, no, I had to teach with it, so I had to have it before. But yeah, whatever. So I went.
What question are we on? Hold on 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
Analytics.
Yes. What about it?
How you got into it? We know. All right. Next. How did you navigate your world into the entertainment industry? So I guess primarily how you got to LA and got your feet wet.
It was one random day I decided to move to Vegas.
What inspired that move from Vegas? Why am I doing my Elvis Presley?
You know what? A person that doesn't matter anymore. So then I left Vegas after 2, almost 3,
AKA a
very
breakup.
Wrenching and hot years. It was very hot in Vegas. Don't go there. So I left Vegas in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
This is such a lie.
Wait.
I didn't. It was during the day.
Girl, I was about to say, you really did that?
No,
that makes for a great story.
I drove away from Vegas.
Drove away?
I did. So, okay, I decided I wanted to move. I made a very fast and hard decision to move. I packed up my U-Haul, sold the furniture, and I packed a U-Haul by myself. I would not recommend that at all.
Shade. Shade, because somebody did ask you if they could help.
Oh my God, who cares?
You said,
who cares?
No, it's okay. Then you said no.
Well,
but that's good to show. Hold on, let me try to find a little stupid.
She's like
common thread.
That doesn't even matter.
No.
It doesn't matter. People asked.
No, I know.
I think I said no.
Yeah.
And you know why?
And then but then you're saying now Don't ever do it by yourself. What was that hard
No,
part?
no. I said I would never do that again.
What?
As far as packing the truck by myself. Now, the drive was fine. It's just packing my stuff. I just felt like it took so long. Yeah. But I stayed up for like the whole night, and then I also turned around and cleaned the apartment, everything.
Girl.
I made sure everything was spick and span before I left. I wanted my deposit back. So yeah, and then I drove to LA, and once I got to LA, I decided, hey, I want to do this for me.
I love that.
That was my whole decision.
It felt
to
empowering, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I was glad to be working remote so I could do that. Because I feel like when you're not working remote, you can't just make decisions on the fly like that. So I was
Freedom.
like, yeah. It's
I
really
love that.
good.
So your way or gateway into entertainment, because a lot of people move here, but they don't get in.
Right.
So how did that happen for you?
So someone named Tifani Sage.
Oh my God. Girl, is you giving me my flowers?
I'm going to. I feel like you wanted them. You gave me a list after I asked you about resources, and you gave me a list for studios, and I checked out a studio, and I went. It was great. I won't name it. But
I feel like I have a lot of listeners who
no, because I feel like it wasn't. It's great studio. I just feel like it was not good for me. So
at a particular time.
Yeah, I feel like because I wanted to see and discover how I was on camera, that I needed an on-camera class, but I didn't even know what that was called. So
how about this? So we can give Unsaid Company their flowers.
Yes.
What did that company help?
Oh God.
you?
So oh my God, just the audit. So an audit is like, I don't really, you know what? The audit is when you go and you sit and you basically discover whether or not this studio
this
is
is
for you.
acting. This is
Yes,
an acting
this is
school.
an acting school.
Okay.
Studio, not school. Anyway, but basically when I went there, I felt like, oh my God, I found it. And I didn't realize that
Found what?
I found what I needed. I found what I was looking for as far as, you know, what part of my path I needed to pursue next. And I really felt like Berg hit it on the nail. So it was Berg Studios. I felt like
Bam!
Berg hit it on the nail.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he was just talking about, you know, just the creation of characters and just the passion behind building and telling a story. And I felt so moved by it, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like I started weeping as I'm sitting there, and this is a full,
I remember when you texted
this is a
me.
full audit. Like there's people everywhere, and I'm crying and trying
An
to hold
audit-
myself
sorry,
together.
For my learning, an audit is when they're auditing you, or the audit is a presentation of some sort.
So we are auditing the experience and the expectations of the school or the studio.
Oh, got it. To see if it's a good match.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yes. So they basically explain what they're going to do. They give you like a little exercise, or they do an exercise, and you're essentially seeing if it's a good fit for you. And then you sign up when you leave, or you don't, you know.
Got it.
You make that decision there.
Cool. Alrighty. I think I'm done now with being on live. Anyone watching? Sayonara. Thank you. Let's move on to being an actress.
See.
What has the craft taught you about yourself?
Oh dear.
And we got all the time in the world because we've upgraded the camera devices.
Oh, nice. That's nice. I feel like it's taught me how to listen to myself. And most recently, it taught me to lean into my nervousness. Because there were these sides I had, and I normally try to hide my nervousness because I'm always told, oh, you're very still. And I'm like, yes, because I've been taught to be still.
Through acting?
No, through communication. So when I went to school for communication, and then when I would do presentations in the past, or just growing up, I was always taught to be still. Like just be a more stoic person. So I'm just like more of a still person. Like I've learned that there are other actors that are always like moving and like blah blah blah, and I'm like, I'm just very like
wow. And I don't know if, I mean, this is your story, so you can tell, but has that effed with you a little bit, with like, has that trickled into your personal life in any way where you're misunderstood because of your stillness?
I just think, you know, like I told you, like there are times when there's been chaotic moments or things that have happened and I've been calm. Like there was an accident that I was in a long time ago and I was calm. And I think that it just, I think it's just is what it is. I don't know that it's a problem or a thing that affects anything. I just think that's who I am.
Because of that schooling thing that told you to be still.
No, you know, it's not just that. I think that part of it is personality. I think I am just still. Like I'm not, I know I can be bubbly, but that doesn't, I don't always need to put it in my body. Like I can just bring it to the table. That's just also why I like to wear black, because I do feel like black is my power color. And like some of the other colors, I don't feel empowered. I feel empowered when I wear black. I feel most myself. So, yeah.
Deep. Okay, so I just want to make sure with the acting craft, it taught you, what did you say? No, and do you remember what you said?
You're bringing me back. I said it taught me just how to pay more attention to myself and my feelings.
Okay.
And I would say to lean into and address things how I would do them rather than how it is written on the paper. Because that's what makes the individual character. Because oftentimes everyone's given the same sides, but it's how you bring forth yourself into those sides.
And finding yourself, knowing yourself to know what to bring. Because if you don't know yourself.
Right.
Girl, what is you doing? Sorry.
It's funny. So many actors say that. Then that's what they struggle with too. If they don't know themselves, it's very hard to get into character.
And that's very understandable because they're playing characters all the time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This isn't on here, but it just came to mind. What do you do to rid yourself of the character you just played?
You know, I was asking a teacher about this recently, and I actually don't know. No, seriously, when I have practiced like sides or whatever or prepared for a character, I just do it and then I black out and forget about it.
So what does that blackout look like?
I don't remember anything that happened. So like, yeah, it's very weird. So when I'm really dialed into the character, I just execute and then I let it go.
How? Like I
don't know. Like, I think it's that. Okay. I think that's the stoic part or the calmness. And it's just like, it just goes, like it just floats away. It's like, I think because it's not me, I don't hold on to it.
Got it. And I was going to ask too, are you able to get rid of it quicker because the project is smaller versus if you're shooting for like 3 months or 5 months?
We don't know yet.
Got it.
Once we get there,
that.
we will find out.
That's fair. Not a fly's laugh. All right. What is one of your dream roles and who would you like the supporting actors to be?
Oh my God. I really, really want to be.
Hold on. I'm sorry. To be extra. Not extra. But just to have reference for this moment. Girl, you better manifest. Go ahead.
So there's 2 different types of episodic shows I would like to be in. I would love to be in a psychological thriller.
Boom.
And I would love to be either in a medical show or a military show.
Bam. Hence the camo. No. And who would you like to be acting alongside
honestly,
you?
You know what? I don't have a preference. I don't want to be.
You could pick anyone in the world.
I know, but here's why I don't want to. I would rather have no one in mind and be surprised. I want God to surprise me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that might be the name of this. I want God to surprise me. That or I pivoted around the world. All right. Man plans and God laughs. Name a situation that didn't go as planned, but then you eventually saw like, oh, I actually needed this experience.
Oh my God. So let me preface this. So again, I have tried many things. So before I was about to graduate college, I wanted to go into cosmetology school because I wanted to be able to do the makeup and the hair for all of my photography people, clients.
The subjects.
I didn't want to call them subjects, but yes, clients. So I just had that lined up. I toured different schools. I knew what school I was going to go to, and I was so excited. But right before I was about to graduate, and this is why I say things always happen, right before I was about to graduate, I broke my arm. And so I was in the hospital, a month or two before graduation, because I had to get surgery on my arm, and I didn't even get to go to cosmetology school. And I was very, very hurt by that. Well, yeah, it was my right hand, so my most prominent hand at that. So I was like devastated. I was like, oh my God, And then the doctor did not help. She was like, you may never get full mobility. And I was like, what the hell? Ma'am, please. This is not the kind of energy I need. So, yeah. Looking back on that, though, I think it's for the best.
Why? Because
I do feel like I probably would have gotten too deep into cosmetology, and I would have probably did something that would have taken me away from other things that I wanted to experience.
Like
I wanted to I wanted to dive into doing graphics and doing this, and I know that if I would have steered into cosmetology, I would have focused on really honing in on that a little too much. So I just know sometimes when certain things are technical and it requires me to really focus, and it's like, oh my God, I can learn this and I can learn this and I can add this.
It would have been a black hole.
No, I think it just would have been me creating a completely different life. And yeah.
Okay.
And just because I realized, this was a good thing. I didn't need to do this.
You didn't need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. The last one in work and lifestyle. What's the latest conversation that you've had personally or business wise that's still resonating with you?
Okay. So, there was a question that came up while I was walking with my friend Fed on Tuesday. So
shout out to Fed.
I know, she's great. We were talking about relationships, and she was like, what did you have in the past in your relationships? Did you have absolutes and boundaries and a hard cutoff and things that you knew you wouldn't accept? And I was like, yeah, cheating and just really hard obvious stuff. Things. But she was like, but what about not meeting eye to eye in a certain area, and why does it always have to be so drastic? And I said, you know what, I don't know. I said, but I think that because of those relationships, I didn't see healthiness, so therefore it wasn't easy for me to see normal boundaries. It always had to be dramatic.
Oh, because they weren't healthy.
Yeah. So I didn't even understand what a healthy boundary was, or a healthy, what would really make me healthily cut things off. Yeah. I didn't see it. I always saw oh, it has to be this because this is a dramatic situation. It's got to be this because, you're crazy. So I need to cut you off because, you Anyway, not to give away details about that, but yeah, so I just realized that.
No, what's that quote? If you didn't want me to say anything bad about you, you should have behave yourself.
You know what? Everyone has a villain in their story, and I could be a villain in theirs. So
that is fine.
So I just, I know that I feel like there are some villains in my life.
No, don't tell me you walking around triggering people on purpose.
No, but I feel like, but likewise, you could also have, people could say you were such a bad person in their life. So it's
it's crazy, not to take away from your story, but I was just thinking today, I was like, everybody thinks they're right.
Right.
And it just randomly came to my head. And I think it really takes a mature person to look at things, I think the word is objectively or subjective, I don't know.
Yeah.
But look at things from a zoomed out lens and be like, you know what? I was not right, or I did not treat that person right in the situation. But in the heat of the moment, in the middle of the night, I keep singing that song. But I feel like people, I have to find, I know it's at Phil Collins. I don't know. So, yeah, everyone thinks they're right. And in a relationship or in a friendship like that, how is there any growth? How is there any
Well, there wasn't. That's why it ended.
That's true.
I think that it ended in a variety of ways. Not oftentimes not my fault for it ending. I really wish I did pull the trigger sometimes. I do. I think.
Hold on. Specifically ending the relationship.
Relationships. Friendships I have ended cold turkey.
Relationships, okay.
But a lot of relationships, I have let them end it. And I think that the problem with that is, honestly, I know I could have, but I think that it's like, well, I'm going to let you have an opportunity to make a decision. And
it sounded like you were on the defense all the time.
Maybe.
Instead of being on the offense, like, this is not working for me, and so I'm cutting it off, versus giving, I interpret it as, you're giving this person the power of, oh, we are still going to keep going, or no, we're going to stop. And then it causes you to have to adjust to whatever they say, versus you already know how you feel, and you can end it, or you can end it and you can always go back if time or life, conjures up you and the person together again.
See, I don't like to go back.
So
therefore, I think that's another. I really do think that's why. Because I was like, well, why don't you? And I was like, you know what? Because if I break up, I'm not going to be like other people. Other people will be like, oh, I'm breaking up, and then we're going to get back. Once I pull the trigger, I'm not going back.
Yeah, and that's
okay. It doesn't matter if I want it back. I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So I don't want to do it because I will feel like I'm betraying myself. So I think that's why.
But sometimes it's if you want to end it.
Yeah.
End it.
That's true. But honestly, those were healthy situations. They didn't need to stick around, so it's fine.
Unhealthy.
I mean, unhealthy.
Girl,
thank you.
Is a Gemini coming out now?
No, you know what? I couldn't hear myself.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Essence. What do you love most about yourself?
My creativity. And honestly, which some people would disagree, my loyalty.
Why would someone not think you're loyal?
Well, here's the thing. I'm loyal until you show disloyalty.
But that's madness.
No, I know. But some people think you're still supposed to be loyal to them.
Well, they're idiots.
When they've double crossed you.
Right.
But that's why, especially, they try to say.
Well, we're not going to stoop to the standard of stupid.
I understand that. But I'm just saying that's one of the little jabs about Geminis when they're like, oh, Geminis are wishy-washy. No. If I see you moving funny, I'm going to move right to the side. I'm not going to wait to try to figure it out. I'm going to move over and be like, okay, thanks. This was great. I'm good.
Sarcasm. This was not great. What I just saw was not good.
Listen, if you couldn't read between the lines, then it's all right. It wasn't for you.
I guess. Creativity, you mentioned. What ways does that show up for you, in ways that you like how you're creative?
I like that I can, nowadays it is singing and acting. I still miss drawing and stuff, but when I try to get into it, I don't feel the same about it. But singing and acting, it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel like I'm doing something and I'm acting in my purpose more.
Good.
Yeah.
And honestly, we should never do anything less than that.
Yeah.
Because what are we doing?
Right.
Shout out to Kawan. We are posturing ourselves to wrong things.
Oh.
I'm just saying, not verbatim. But
Oh, okay. Because I was
paraphrasing.
like, where are you going? I'm trying to
Yeah,
follow.
like if you are doing something, just I'm in the motions,
Right.
blah 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 blah, and I have no feeling towards it. You are
Mm-hmm.
posturing yourself to, well, you're doing this because what? It's not because you.
Yeah.
It's just something else, and then that is giving your power away and depleting yourself of energy.
Yeah.
Life can be very trying. What
Mhm.
keeps you motivated to keep going?
Oh, God. That's just it. That's the whole sentence. God. Because honestly, there are many times where I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to sit and pray and cry and pray and cry and then get up and keep moving.
Yeah. How are you with stillness when you don't hear from God or you don't feel? I know I have felt times where I don't feel like, I know I'm being heard, but
Right.
I'm not feeling like, oh, the answer is going to be given the next morning. How do you deal with stillness when you're trying to hear from God?
So I look for signs. I need something. Unfortunately, I can't be like, I know, faith of a mustard seed,
Mm-hmm.
but I need a little bit more than the mustard seed. I need a little butterfly. I need something.
Oh, confirmations, you're
yes,
saying.
some
Mhm.
kind of sign, like you're going in the right direction. I need to hear something. So I really think God knows this. So every time I do hear or see something, and I'm like, okay, all right,
You're
okay,
good.
yeah.
Ooh, what does success look like for you?
Ooh, success for me. This is a good question. So I do feel like it is, unique to each person. Success for me just is freedom, is making choices that propel me and put me where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm able to travel when I want to and, just take time off when I need to. Obviously, that may vary with certain gigs, but just being able to be and be fruitful in areas I want to pour into.
Yeah, that was beautifully said.
Thank you. Oh,
We made it to the end. What?
I like that little clap.
Oh,
it was
no.
cute.
Last section. Ooh.
Yes.
Mm-mm-mm. If you received $10 million tonight,
Yes.
how would your tomorrow look different?
Oh God. So analytics. It's been real.
Resignation letter in at the inbox.
Adios. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I would probably I would quit immediately. Absolutely. Just be like, goodbye. Also, it would be paying off any debts. I like to handle bills first. Figuring out what business I want to open and go ahead and open that. Figuring out where I want to invest some money back into the stocks because I kind of miss options trading, but I stepped out. And then giving my mom some money. And
Good daughter.
after that, focusing on creating and doing different things, and also seeing how I can give back to others.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're a good person.
Thanks. I
What
try.
on you do you take the most care of?
Ooh. Ugh. I would say my insides.
Oh, nice.
So
What was that? We had the other day, the Edelberry something.
Oh.
Shout out to Malibu Farmers Market.
The fig.
Not that. The drink.
Oh, the elderberry.
Elderberry. What'd I say? It was some good drinks.
So it was sea moss, which is from your people.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff.
It's from your people.
Big up Jamaica every time.
But yeah, I would say my insides. I don't really, and working out. But other than that, I do feel like things that I used to do, like physically, I don't do anymore. Like I should do them, but I get lazy. So
It's okay.
I know, but it's just like,
What are you OCD about?
Coffee.
Oh, if a place does not serve good coffee.
Yes, I do
or
not
only
like.
catering to a certain kind of palate.
Or they have nasty blonde coffee. I'm sorry, blonde coffee is disgusting. It's nasty. Like, just don't drink that. Don't make it. Need a bold coffee. We need some coffee from Ethiopia. Just, the brown countries. I'm sorry.
Got it. No, you're not.
I am. Because other people like other things.
It ain't really hitting. What keeps you up at night? In the middle of the night. Okay, I promise I'm not going to sing anymore.
It's just as bad as that Round the World song you used to sing.
Everybody wants to.
Okay.
What keeps you up at night?
I know. I was just letting you have your moment. So what keeps me up at night? Success, honestly. The when, the how, the why, how, the manifestation of it. What is going to be that thing that opens the doors?
And they say don't worry about the how.
Right, I know. But I feel like that's easier said than done. It's like rerouting your mind and your thoughts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is the number one quality you look for in a friend?
In a friend. So, oh gosh. So I was talking about this recently too.
With Fed?
Yes, with Fed. I would say being able to talk about multiple topics, being able to give one another advice, also being able to learn from one another. We had an interesting moment where I was like, I had to tell her after we hung out, I was like, oh my God, there are not many friends at this point in my life since I'm restructuring. We're going to call it that. Where I feel like, oh my God, I've learned something from you.
Wow.
Because I always feel like I'm teaching people. And it's not to say that I'm the go-to person or anything like that. I just feel like sometimes I'm the person that's listening and giving advice. Where it's never someone saying something to me and questioning my ideas in that friend aspect, like in that area. So I feel like, oh, this is good. This is really nice.
Yeah, feeding your mind.
Yeah, and also...
You're sapiosexual.
Yes, sapiosexual, but that is definitely more romantic. But definitely in friends too.
Oops.
Because that's attraction. But I am attracted to friends that do that. But also friends that are go-getters. I do like friends that are content with their lives, but
no, you ain't.
But I really like people that have multiple things going on and like they're doing a lot for themselves. There's something about that is just more exciting and interesting to me. Like,
question.
Yes.
What if you were friends with a very successful restaurateur?
Yes.
And so that's consuming their life.
Right.
And outside of that, they are into, say, golf and horseback riding.
Right.
Is that enough?
Yes.
Or you want them to be into
No, I
more?
love that. I love that because they're operating in their passion. I think with the other people, like the ones I mentioned, some of them have no passion.
Oh, got it.
And they're just existing. And
Got
I think
it.
the just existers, we don't align. That I find that boring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. Number one, or say top 3 qualities you look for in your ideal lover.
And my ideal lover, smart,
To
funny.
you.
Yes. What do you mean? To who else?
Some people, because it could be, oh, that's true. Sorry, they are smart to you, because to someone else it's like, I know everything that you know. You're not that smart to me.
Yeah, okay. Smart to me.
Okay.
And artistically inclined, creative, and kind. I think the kindness is really important. I do think I have dated some people that are very unkind.
Ooh, like nasty.
Yeah, like they don't care about other people and they don't know how to care for other people.
Man.
And when you realize that, it's just like, oh my God.
You're in the you're in the runway of getting all that bad treatment.
Yes, but you don't know that because people, when they date, they show a different version of themselves when you're first getting to know someone.
And then the layers start.
Yeah. And then
representative.
Yes. Yes. And a lot of people are very showy and they want to give you special things to kind of distract you from who they really are.
Ooh, but that's going to wear off.
Yeah. And it did.
Yeah.
So
and you saw.
Yeah.
And you conquered. Let me stop.
And
All right. So wrapping up, what is your ultimate life motto?
And be like Dory, just keep swimming.
Oh.
No,
I
but
love how you're laughing where it's like, is there more to uncover under that laugh?
No, you just be okay to pivot. I feel like life is about pivoting. And you know what? Maybe you'll pivot to something that you always loved and did before. Like the Tabitha Brown interview when she said that she always knew what she wanted to do, but there were different parts of her life that made her sway in different ways. She didn't say it like that. However,
I like how you said it.
she was led back to her original thing. It's like kind of like when you're told as a kid, oh, that doesn't make any money, or that doesn't and it's like, but you're being deterred from what's truly you.
Exactly.
So just follow that voice and let it lead you back.
And there we have it. Ovié, thank you so much. How can people find you and flood your DMs?
Oh, no. Please don't. My Instagram is _OVO_. I always forget it, honestly. And my TikTok, I'll eventually post on there. It's the same. They're linked.
Okay.
So, yeah, find me there.
All right, guys, you heard it. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Woo.